Hey folks, my name is Rene Enriquez and you are watching Uncensored.
This is Rene Enriquez. Nickname Bootser. Blackhand of the Mexican Mafia. Prison gang politics.
Hey folks, my name is Rene Enriquez and you are watching Uncensored. Well, today folks, we are going to finish off the Perico Rocha debrief on the Armenian and Russian mob. If you remember correctly, Perico talked about an individual contracting him for multiple eliminations, and he actually remembered the locations. He says he has pictures. In fact, the good Francis Hardiman, the homicide detective involved in this case, is providing the graphics we need to identify the individuals that Perico is talking about. He just identified this individual as Capone, an individual that was supposed to be eliminated. And we're going to pick up just a little bit where we left off, just to give you a refresher. Again, if for those people who have never seen this video before, Perico Rocha, the individual in the wrinkled white t-shirt, is a Mexican Mafia member. He was arrested for extortion. And seeing the writing on the wall, understanding he was going to be washed up, he was just released from federal prison after beating an assault case at Lompoc Federal Correctional Institute. He had just beat a case that he was charged with, and he represented himself in propria persona. Preceding that, he did time in a RICO case in the 1995 RICO indictment that came down titled the United States of America versus Alex Pee Wee Aguirre et al. And the United States of America versus Raymond Shryak, Wedoshai Shryak et al. He did his time on that. During his period of incarceration, him and Tommy Moreno participated in an assault on somebody at Lompoc, and he's charged. He defends himself in propria persona and beats the case. Then he gets out there and runs amok. Perico runs amok. He did. But he was doing it. You got to say this about Perico. And I don't care who says what. You can talk bad about him all day long. He was a businessman, and he stacked. He made chips, right? And he was taking down wallops of 50,000, 100,000, 30,000, 20,000 at a pop. It was no nickel dime stuff that he was doing. I mean, he was driving luxury cars, real money, and he was involved with serious people. So this is his debrief. As soon as he drops out, he gets hooked up with this extortion that he participated in, and he decides he wants to cooperate with law enforcement. The preceding half was talking about these Russian guys. Here he's identifying Capone, and let's see what the rest of this video has to offer. We're going to complete this video today, folks, but rest assured, there will be more. Call to action. As always, hype the video. Hyping is important. It promotes us in the algorithm. Leave a comment. It also feeds the algorithm. We have memberships as well, folks. I mean, there are multiple levels of membership available to the channel. We also have merch available at www.realreneenriquez.com. You can buy hats, hoodies. You can buy signed and personally messaged books from me. And we have Patreon. We have Patreon for unedited comments. Some content on Patreon isn't on YouTube. We just can't show it on YouTube. And some of it I just leave exclusive for Patreon, right? And there are multiple levels of membership there as well. So there's a lot of ways you can help, folks. And then there's buy the team a cup of coffee. It doesn't matter what it is. If you can afford $2, do $2. Whatever you give helps. I'm not begging you for money. Believe that. But producing videos costs, right? And I have an editor and a team that I work with that, we're doing this every day to get you content every day. And I hope you guys appreciate it. It's not mandatory that you support those that do, like Nadine, Lady Boss, I think it was Jordan. Few people have contributed, and I truly appreciate your contributions. Really, you guys are helping the channel. You guys are key supporters, and we appreciate it. But each of you that watch the video are also supporting in your way. Watch the video in its entirety, folks. It's important. It's important, right? Because that's how we get paid, is through watch hours. If you watch it for 10 minutes and bounce, then it reduces our average watch time hour. So let it play to its entirety. Even if you're going to get up and go make coffee or whatever, let it run. Let it run. Let us build watch hours. All right. without further ado, we're going to run this video and break it down. Here we go.
All right, so you think that guy is Capone?
Yeah, let me see. I'm pretty sure that is Capone. Yeah.
I'm just asking. I don't.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
They're kind of at odds, though, I thought.
Really?
I thought.
Do you know this guy?
Escaro,
Okay, and who's he to you?
a friend. Actually, they said that they gave me a hog.
That is Gato. He just identified Gato. They're identifying all your minions and Russian mob guys and targets as they go along with this interview. So as soon as they mention a name, Francis Hardiman pulls out the picture and puts it in front of the camera, so we got a visual ID as well.
When I
sorry?
baptized my kid,
Uh-huh.
so I told him that I put him on the baptism, but I didn't.
Okay. Do you know who this guy is?
Yeah, I'm familiar with the face. I don't know, is that Happy?
I'm asking you.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm guessing. I don't. He looks familiar, but I'm guessing it's Happy.
So you think this guy is happy?
Yeah.
Note that Ralph Rocha is drinking from a Pollo Loco cup, right? Which means they brought him lunch, which is typical behavior. It's not untoward. It's not illegal. It's not inappropriate behavior by investigators or prosecutors. I've had lunch with hundreds of people during my my debriefs and my interactions in case support, right? People got to eat, right? Because he's incarcerated doesn't mean he's not going to eat. So defense attorneys will try to say, well, you were provided with cheeseburgers or burritos, and isn't that a privilege? I mean, come on. He's not debriefing for a freaking plate of Pollo Loco. Let's be real about this, right? But it's always utilized. And no doubt the defense in any cases that he would potentially testify in would utilize that right there. Considered an inducement, right? An inducement is they induce you to do something by giving you something or promising you something, right? Just so you understand some of the nuances of how this plays out in evidentiary value.
You know who this guy is?
No.
You don't know who this guy is?
No.
I don't know him either.
Okay. Here's the. Do you know who this guy is?
That looks like Mike, ain't
I'm asking you.
it? Yeah, Mike.
Mike Moreno, Boo Boo from Norwalk.
Do you know who this guy is?
Yeah, that's Largo.
What's with Largo?
Eddie Boy had him killed. Supposedly.
Eddie Boy who?
I mean, Dead-Eye Eddie.
He's identifying this individual as somebody who was eliminated at the orders of Eddie Castro. That's Dead-Eye Ed from B&E. Brother of Chuco Castro, who was the first informant in a federal informant for the 1995 RICO case of United States versus Alex Aguirre et al. And Raymond Triac et al.
Why is that?
Because we were kind of like beefing, I guess.
Okay, well, tell me about Largo. Who's Largo to you?
He's just a friend. He used to be at the house lounge.
Okay. Was he doing anything for you?
Not particularly, no.
Okay.
We were friends, but, like, to put in work or do anything like that, no. And like,
Was he collecting for you?
no, we weren't friends in that capacity.
Did people think maybe you were?
He probably thought he. Well, actually, we were having issues with Eddie because he took off, and then supposedly Mono was the one who killed him. Mono shot him on the freeway, didn't he? Found him on the freeway.
Who's Mono?
From
That would be
VNE.
Max Torbisco, Mono from VNE, right? And he was a member of Chewy's crew. That's Mariano Martinez. Now we're talking. Remember I said how some of these crews are incestuous. No matter where you're located or what you're doing or what gun you're with, it's going to overlap into another crew. That's the way mob business is done. So because Perico and Eddie Boy were beefing, they had this guy clipped. It overlaps. Two crews. Eddie Boy's crew, Perico's crew. Now, this other dude gets whacked, and it's Mono, Chewy's crew, and this crew overlap. Just so you see the connections, right? And there are many.
Because we knew the night that he went to go meet Mono, Mono was supposed to introduce him to, or show him that guy.
When you say he, you mean Largo.
Yeah,
You know Largo's real name?
Not.
If I told it to you, would
Maybe.
you recognize it?
What is
It
it?
starts with a J.
No.
His first name and his last name are the same name.
Jose.
You don't know? Okay, that's fine. All right, so Largo was supposed to go meet somebody.
I'm being facetious, obviously. I don't know his name either.
Yeah, he was supposed to go meet somebody. Or we just call him Large. He was supposed to go meet. Actually, he met Art. Him, Art, Large, Art, and Mono had met, I guess, days before. And Mono told Large and Art that they had a hit on him. So then they said that
Mono told Large and Art
yeah,
that who had a hit on who.
that they both had a hit on him.
That somebody wanted to hit both
Yeah.
Mono and Large.
Yeah,
Okay, and Large is the guy, the picture that I showed you,
yeah.
the last picture. Okay, so Art tells them, hey, both of you guys have hits on each one of you. Who did he say wanted to hit them?
I think he said it was a gangster, and I think his brother's name's Ralph. Yeah, gangster and Ralph.
The only gangster I know is Javier Marquez. He was in the Avenues. And during this period, I think he had already been cleared. He went through that controversy in 2002 where we stripped him of his status. But he was validated and made soon thereafter. He went to the proper channels at the Bay and was made. So he could be speaking about him. Maybe another gangster. I don't know. But Javier Marquez actually had the black hand on his left, the crook of his arm, between his elbow and his upper bicep, right? Forearm and bicep right there. And we talked to him. I talked to him personally, myself, Jaco, and Danny Pina, when he came to the Bay after leaving Los Angeles County Jail, saying he was a carnal. He was sponsored by Jimmy Sanchez and Indio, Henry Carlos from Sereno. And this is a period when the books were closed. We had just closed the books. And he was inducted during a period of controversy. So in 2002, we had the ability to go walking the tiers for the peace talks, right? And we saw him. I saw him. And he was adamantly opposed. I was telling him, hey, bro, you're going to have to cover that up. You're not a carnal. No, I'm a carnal. Like with attitude, right? And I just told him, I say, bro, I'm dead serious. You're going to have to stop saying you're a carnal. You're going to have to cover that up or you're going to suffer the ultimate consequences. And then Danny went in there and smooth talked him, and Jaco did. But I was just pretty much like, hey, dude, cover it up. That's it. You're not a carnal, and that's all there is to it, right? He survived, and as he should have, he stood. Because I remember what he was doing to me was what he was supposed to do. Gangster was being a gangster. And you can't fault the man for that. I mean, he was with it. He's the guy that eliminated Tonito, a Mexican Mafia member, the Lock Street thing, or the Lowell Street thing, where they killed a May Carnal. He's the one that took action. He earned his bones. That guy earned his bones. And he stood fast. He stood strong. He withstood the political campaign against him. And ultimately, he prevailed. So that may be who he's talking about here. We're going to find out in a second.
Just some random gangster?
No, Gangster and Ralph, they're supposed to be like casual guys. I had a picture of them. They hang around with that dude from the 740 Club. Anyway,
Okay, not the same gangster, but now you know about Gangster
they've
Marquez.
been going at it. I guess they've been having problems with him for going back before I even came into the picture.
Well, who are those guys to put out a hit on anybody?
Well, they were running around saying they were carnales, gangster and his brother,
But they're not.
but they're not. No, and they were supposed to be hiding behind Eddie Boy. I mean, Dead-Eye Eddie, and Dead-Eye Eddie was saying that everything was okay. You know, so it was all up in the air, all that. So that's how I actually got introduced to art. You know, because they wanted to know were these guys carnales or not. You know.
Okay. And so Largo was supposed to go meet somebody before the night he got killed?
Yeah, he was supposed to go meet Shanker from Evergreen. Actually, Morno was supposed to set up Shanker, and Large was supposed to kill him. But it was
That night?
double cross. Yeah.
That night?
Yeah. So like I said, the way I got the story was it was a double cross.
Okay, so Mono
Mono
set up Shanker.
Mono was supposed to set up Shanker.
It was a ruse.
Yeah.
And who's Shanker?
Some dude from Evergreen.
Okay. And Largo was supposed to go meet Shanker
Mm-hmm.
to kill him.
Yeah. Mono was supposed to take Large to go meet Shanker and kill him.
Okay. Do you know if Mono was with Largo?
I wasn't there. I don't know. All I know is Art got a hold of me the next day and told me that, was it the next day? The next day or the next day? I think it might have been that next day. He said that they found Large on the side of the freeway in the car and he was dead.
Do you know approximately where he was found dead?
No, they said on the on-ramp. to
Was
the
it
freeway.
near some project somewhere?
I don't know.
Okay. And where was Largo from?
I don't know.
Okay.
I didn't know that he was from somewhere.
Evergreen and V&E. Anything special about them?
What do you mean?
Did they end up on the list?
Yeah.
Why?
Because Eddie Boy wouldn't want to come around. That issue right there. He was hiding that dude's gangster in them.
Who put Evergreen and V&E on the list?
Cisco put Evergreen on the list, and we talked about it, and we both agreed to put V&E.
So, you're seeing part of the reason why Eddie Boy backed out, right? Eddie Boy, Eddie Castro from the Dead-Eye Ed. He was doing a lot of underhanded stuff, right? He didn't want to come around. He avoided meetings. He was doing stuff like this, hiding and sheltering people that took care of him, that were wanted by other carnales. And I want to make a note real quick. Anytime it comes to who put this person on the list, who approved the murder, he throws it on Cisco, right? And Cisco did it, not me. Right? Because he probably still doesn't have immunity. So he's being very cautious what he says. He's not participating in any murders. He's not giving approval for murders. He's just there, right? He's being smart about it. And this is a debrief, right? So what happens is this: you debrief, you put out all the information they know. They might ask some pointing questions like they're doing now. But these cases, if they're viable and they're real and they're being investigated, are going to be given your debrief goes everywhere to all the agencies, right? And those agencies read your debrief and say, hey, that's my case. Large is my case. Mono's my case. Or Eddie Boy's my case. I'm investigating that homicide. Then they will come and conduct another interview with specific questions about that crime. So a debrief entails everything. It's not like, I'm going to only say this and that's it. I want to drop out. For the most minimal guys, the guys that get into those little drug debts or they're weaklings and they can go to SMY because they're not really associates. They're righteous camaradas, right? But righteous camaradas, the real guys, they do this. That's what a debrief is. I don't care what organization you're from or what ethnicity you are. You're going to do this if you're going to do a debrief. If not, they just kick you right back out. They will not give you your dropout status, right? If you don't go through the debrief, the bio, and the interviews, you're not getting dropout status, right? And only those high-level associates, our main members, the camaradas and the members, are considered dropouts. The rest of the guys, because they're in PC, that don't make them a dropout, right? But this is what is entailed. You're seeing a real legitimate debrief here. You're seeing a debrief of a main Mexican Mafia member, and it's the same for everybody.
And that was in order to do what?
To try and draw Eddie Boy out. Did I Eddie?
Okay. Because of the murder of...
No, not because of that. Because he wasn't coming around. We tried to see him. He had that dude, Gangster, and his brother, Fredo, I'm pretty sure his name was. Gangster and Fredo, not Ralph. Ralph is the one from the 740. Fredo and Gangster. He was letting them run around saying they were carnales, collecting, slinging dope, doing all kinds of stuff.
Okay, so...
we seen him and told him. And he just kind of disregarded
You
us.
saw Deadeye Eddie?
Yeah.
And told him?
Yeah.
Okay. What would your solution be to that? So you do that to draw him out, right? And really, when you say draw him out, you don't really mean draw him out. You mean to have other guys give him up.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Okay.
Yeah, no, but first it was we went to see him and we talked to him and we told him everything. Hey, you got this dude Fredo and gangsters saying they're carnales. They're saying that you okayed them, that woo, all this is going on. Where you been? The carnales want to know where you been. You ain't got at nobody. Been out for a while. What's cracking with you? We're trying to get everything together out here again. Where you at? Do you need anything? This dude supposedly got a horse. Suppose they owned a horse down low or low down. That we're talking about. These dudes are worth millions. You know what I mean? Do you know this? And he's like, well, I'll get back. Oh, then we told him about Shanker having paperwork on him. All them dudes from Evergreen just running amok. So Cisco, when I say we told him, there's a lot of times I didn't tell him or it was what was said,
Right. Well, it's the two of you. It's
yeah.
Cisco and Perico.
So it's talked about about Shanker. Cisco's real hot about Shanker because he lived in his barrio before. He was taxing him or whatever. He took off. I think there was an indictment. His name was mentioned in it. So, he had his own little issues with him. So we okay, we'll meet here next week. Go get all this shit straightened out. And you tell them dudes, this is what they're worth, you know what I mean? And what's up, you know what I mean? We're letting you know, fuck, cut us into it or, just that's what's popping right there. Next week he never showed up. We went to go try and send phones and all that. Send homeboys in there to go try and get a hold of him. And, tell Deadeye Eddie we want to get a hold of him. Drove around V&E, nothing. So we just took it as a fuck you. So we're like, okay, fuck you, I'll fuck you.
Got it. Do you know who or if Largo was... Does Largo have a phone? Did he have a phone? Do you know?
Yeah, everybody had phones.
Do you know do you know if he was calling Mono, if he was calling Shanker? How that all worked?
I think he was calling him. I can't say for sure. He didn't come around us when he seen him or talked to him.
Right.
I know he had mentioned one time that he went to his house.
He went to Shanker's house?
No, to Mono's
house.
Mono's
house. Largo went to Mono's house.
Are you done with this?
I am, yeah.
Little man.
That is Steve Case. They're talking about David, little man from Cantaranas. He was up, Hernandez. David Hernandez from Cantaranas. There was quite a bit of back and forth about him being made. He was up in the air, and then he was sat down. So that's the brother of Laura Hernandez, one of the initial secretaries for Lalo Martinez. Lalo from San Gabriel Valley, right? So again, you're seeing how all these debriefs and how all these crews interweave with each other. It's incestuous, right? Everybody does business with everybody, and everybody knows everybody's business, so it's not a secret. Now they're talking about little men. They've shifted the topics, and they're going to talk about this now.
No.
Did you ever have beef with him?
No, I didn't.
Never
Not
did?
until he started saying that I was no good and he was a carnal. So we started saying that, no, you're not. You know, that was it. Went looking for him a couple times, never found him.
Just to talk or what?
Just, I don't know, whatever transpired.
Right.
Imagine it wouldn't be good. I wasn't going strapped looking for him.
Yeah, he's kind of padding that. If they went looking for a guy, if I was a carnal and somebody said I was no good and I wasn't a carnal, and I went looking for him, it's not to talk, right? So just use your imagination here. Again, keep in mind that Perico does not have, the individual speaking does not have immunity yet. There's not a United States attorney in there. There's not a prosecutor. He's talking to cops, right? And anything you say can and will be used against you, particularly if Perico, the individual speaking, says, I don't want to cooperate with you no more. He's made a ton of spontaneous admissions already. So he's got to walk carefully. He's walking on thin ice right now.
But I went looking for him.
Why do you say he's not a cop?
Why do I say he's not? Because he's not.
Mm-hmm.
He's not.
That was Chris Brandon that asked the question, why do you say he's not a carnal?
Because you say he's not, or?
No, it was all propaganda, or he was saying something. But when I talked to, it was just,
Okay.
everybody said no. Because when we sent Lorraine up to the Bay, she came back and she said, no, he's not.
Out of either side, state or fed.
No, nobody recognized him. But then when I got to the county, Lalo said that they were waiting for him to get up there and embrace him. I'm like, who? Because we just got word 2 weeks before I got busted that no. So, there was a lot of indifference there.
All right.
Two schools of thought.
Yeah, I guess you could say.
How'd you get made?
How? It just happened.
How? It was,
How? Actually, I was running around. I was running at Gibby.
Oh, Gibby the Weasel. Rears his ugly little scandalous head again. Can't get rid of that guy, can we? Yeah, Gibby's his padrino. That's how he got it. I had said before that he sponsored Gibby, but I had it in reverse. So, yeah, good catch for one of the viewers who pointed that out. And that it comes out here. Gibby was his sponsor. And Gibby, he's Jamaican, a guy that he grew up with, right? And that's kind of like how you get made, right? You know somebody, and you're a good guy, and they make you, like cronyism.
Yeah.
From where?
From Norwalk. Gibby and Topo.
Topo from where?
Omas Topo. From Soto.
Where?
Topo. Tio Pio, Benny.
Oh, okay. Loyal.
I never knew that Topo sponsored him. In fact, we didn't know anything about that. And I was in the Bay at the time, right? But again, Topo from Arroyo Soto, Benjamin Peters, was in the feds at MDC at the time when they went down for that 1995 RICO thing. And he was popping names out like Rube Soto. Anybody who came along that he liked, yeah. He used to say that a lot, yeah. And I guess when Gibby asked him, I'm assuming, right? I'm speculating that he just did that. Yeah. And that's how Mono and those other guys were recognized. Topo was up at the Bay with us when Chewy sent word that he wanted to make them. Topo said, yeah, that everybody agreed. Yeah. And we knew nothing about it. That was a controversy with Mono. So Mono may have been sponsored by Chewy, but was never accepted by the Bay. That's just a reality, right? I don't say that because I want to knock anybody down. I have no dog in the fight. I really don't. If he was a carnal, I'd say he was a carnal, but he never was a carnal.
I was just running around, and Gibby got out and tried to tell me, this is this and that. I'm like, hey, I've been doing this. I'm going to keep doing it, and that's that. You want it, come and get it. So I guess they figured it was better to have me on their side than not. I went to one meeting, and then I met a lot of them, went to a next meeting, and they embraced me. That's how that happened.
Where were these meetings at?
At Cowboy's house.
That's Randy Therian. They're speaking of Cowboys, Randy Therian. And And like I say, Perico was a hustler. He was doing his thing, and he wasn't going to stop, you know. And I don't agree with the statement. Like they figured it's better to have me than not have me, you know. If they really wanted to eliminate him, they would have eliminated him if we opposed opposition to them.
I think that's back when he lived in Ahí somewhere, Moreno Valley or somewhere. Yeah.
Back then, I think it was 70.
Was it? Yeah. I remember we used to drive out there.
So, as far as Little Man's concerned, I mean, you don't recognize him because nobody else recognizes him?
Yeah, everybody that I've spoken to don't recognize it. Even boxers, so now we're like, no.
Boxer from where?
Artisha.
Really?
Yeah. So,
So that's quite a while ago then.
what? No, right before I got arrested,
He
actually.
mentions my name. I pop out. Told you this. This goes everywhere, man. These debriefs go everywhere. And we did when he first came up. You know, we heard his name somewhere, and it's like, nah, you know, nah. Who is this guy? You know. But this happened also after he was actually inducted. After I dropped out, right? But I heard his name before that. So, yeah, he was just some dude that had a big mouth and got his whole family caught up in the business because he used his sister, everybody. They all went to prison. Behind him wanted to make points. That's Little Man from Cantaranas. He would do anything to get in, but unfortunately he never made it.
Not boxer from Artesia.
Like him, box?
I mean, Night Owl.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry.
Hey, man, who's
I always
listening
get-
to him
What?
anymore?
I always get a mix up.
Hey, man, he's got some power, shit. He's
I
so
was dropped out at the time that this guy was made, but I do remember these names coming up at some point. You know, these people have been involved in this stuff for years.
I always get a mix up. But yeah, Night Owl.
So Night Owl said.
Yeah, Night Owl sent down word. Because we had sent word because a lot of people were using his name. But yeah.
And you're using your confirmation sources, what, Pelican Bay?
Yeah, the bank.
What about the guys in the Fedmix?
None of them said
Here, they're asking pointing questions about David because, in a sense, they want him to be a carnal, right? It's a juicier prosecution. They bring more tools to the table. And none of these investigators would say that somebody was a member if they weren't a member. So they're trying to validate that right now, right? They're trying to validate it.
We just talked to
So what would stupid say here?
Cisco just talked to
What's the consequence of somebody claiming that they're brother and they're not?
Death.
Death. So why would stupid say, I'm a carnal?
There's a lot of guys out there that are doing it now. That's why, you know, we're running around trying to, you know, that was the latest palabra, run around, fix all that. You got a lot of perpetrators now.
So those guys claiming that they were carnals, that Eddie from B&E was hiding, is dead, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And Eddie not taking care of them,
English solamente.
what's that?
You got a couple white
Dead
boys in
to
the
Eddie.
office there.
Because Eddie didn't take care of them.
Well, we were trying to get that straight. He said no. He said no, that he never said that. You know?
Also, he's playing both sides of the fence.
Well, we don't know. When we gave him all the story that we had,
Uh-huh.
he's like, "Oh, okay, I'll look into it, but nah, I don't think so." Woo, 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 woo. And so we took his response was no response. So we took it as a fuck you.
Fucking,
Yeah,
which means
everything that you said was true, and I'm gonna just run and catch me if you can. So
That's the accepted way of doing things, you mean? If that's the way you interpreted what his actions were.
Yeah.
After you talked to him.
Well, he said too that he was getting at people in the Bay, so that's when we started getting at the Bay. Nothing. Nobody heard from him, and then we started hearing. All of a sudden, he started getting hold of Lalo in the county. Then when I found out what was going on there.
let me ask another question. If you're a carnal, right? What's that mean to you? You're carnal. Somebody says, okay, you're carnal. What does that mean to you?
To me, what does it mean? Well, I think that.
Does that mean you still have to ask permission to do shit?
Well, see that's where we, me personally as a person, before, after, and now. I've always just, I don't know if that's
I don't
why.
understand why you're asking permission up at the Bay if you're carnal.
I don't know why I got, how I got where I got, because I've just always been me. I've never really done nothing extraordinary, as far as, I don't know. But, whether I was a carnal or not, I still would probably live my life the way I live, to this point. Just not being a carnal.
Well, what I mean is, why are you asking permission? You're carnal. Why the hell are you asking permission from those guys to beg?
Asking them what?
To do anything.
What do you mean?
About any situation.
Well, that was our, I can't say dilemma. That's what I was trying to get across to Cisco. Because he was real, leery about all this and that. And I told him, look, we're carnales. We do not have to ask him.
Exactly.
Our palabra is golden.
It's golden.
So what do you got to, he's, well, let's just let him know, because I guess behind all the bullshit, see, I hadn't got at nobody. I used to let him do that. He was like the secretary, I guess you could say. And then he's like, well, they want to get at you. You know what I mean? They want to hear from you too. You know what I mean? Like, hear what? Just, are you with me? Are you on board? Or, because you're supposed to be out here, you're supposed to get shit together and shit. So I guess they were looking at me as the great hope, And I'm like, all right. So I just sent him a couple questions. That's why we seen Lorraine. Then Lorraine started trying to tell me, well, they said this, or they send you this message. What about Cisco? They're like, no, they just told me to tell you. Like, all right.
I think that he's referring to Laura as Lorraine. That's the only person that I can think of right now. Maybe somebody else I don't know about that's going up to the Bay. But Laura Hernandez made multiple visits, and I think he might be referring to it. Could be mistaken. It wouldn't be the first time.
Yeah, and I think, this is the last time we're talking. I think we should, cut it short here, and cut it short, cut it long here, and it's 21:16 hours on the 11th, so about 2 hours?
It's 11?
96 minutes.
Oh.
No. It's 9:16 p.m.
Cop talk.
Yeah,
You
so
didn't miss the X-Files, so.
let me stop.
And that wraps it up, folks. Yeah, on the David Hernandez issue, I opposed all that Cantarana stuff. Anytime I heard about it, because obviously I had beef with Big Spider, David Galvadon, because you'll remember that I eliminated his sister-in-law. I had her eliminated as one of my commitment offenses, right? So there was long-standing beef. And Lalo, too. I opposed anything Lalo did when I was a carnal, because he whacked out Little Mo. And we didn't whack him out. He tried to. And then he became Lord High Executioner in his own mind, right? So anything those guys did, I opposed. And to make that clarification, David Hernandez was not made until after I dropped out, so I could not have opposed his membership. But hearing about anything from Cantaranas, any of those guys, yeah, I was opposed to it. And Ralph has made some valid points here, and they made a valid point when they asked why are you asking permission, because you don't have to. What he's doing is keeping the Bay informed. I just think he couldn't articulate those words to avoid future and potential political controversy in the future, because there was a lot of chaotic stuff going on at the time. The deep facility war, carnales at each other's throats, people, everybody using Tecolote's name in the county jail, and I think that was perpetuated by his wife, right? She would jump on board and do whatever she did using his name, and Daryl didn't know anything about it. It happened to a lot of us. It happened to all of us, right? So it's not just Daryl and his wife. It happened to everybody. People were out throwing names around to gain clout. I guess that's the word you guys use now, clout, right? But that's what they were doing then. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video, folks. This concludes this segment of the debrief. There are many more, and we're going to get to each one of them. As always, have a wonderful day. Peace out. Stay safe.
This is Rene Enriquez. Nickname Boots.